I started DJing when I was 12, doing these parties, um, right up until I left Jamaica at the age of 18. So it all started out there as a DJ. And then when I get into Mosside, going out at night, one of the most famous places I used to go as youngsters when I first came here was St. David's Hall. It's now called the Amani Centre. It's on Daisybank Road. That one there used to have a teenage dance party on a Friday night. So every Friday night we used to go there and intermingle. So get to, teenagers, boys and girls mingling, get into the first flush of romance, and that's where, it was a nice scene. The Nile and Capital were the two main, because there weren't clubs as such that young people could go to, or even the grown-ups never used to go to these clubs, because what they used to have is house parties. On a Saturday night, everywhere you go, there was a house party, a blues, as we call it. And it's different people, just normal people keeping blues. Well, that was a part of the West Indian culture, Jamaican culture, but the police didn't understand that, and they used to raid them and stop them, and we had a hard time because they didn't understand. They wanted us to fit into British culture, which was alien to us. We didn't understand pubs, going sitting in pubs, sitting there just staring at walls and drinking till 10 or 10:30 and go home. When people work all week, come weekend, they need to let their hair down. And the British way didn't suit us. It didn't suit us. We had our culture, which they didn't allow us to develop.
So what would happen, when the police would raid the blues, what action did they take?
They take all the drinks, stop the music, run everybody out, and prosecute the person who keep the blues, and that, it was just, we felt it was just sheer brutality and harassment. And so there's no community developing out of all what was happening. And it was sad because it was important that there's no social, like West Indian social club, there's nothing. And in the end, not until I would say, late 70s, that things started to change, where those clubs like the Reno opened in the late 60s.
What were some of the sound systems that were around then?
There was Kaz's brother had a sound system called Juke Low, and Kaz was the DJ. And there was the stone that I used to play for was called Count Stone. And there was Leroy, Count Leroy, and Sam, two brothers who both had sound systems. But those were the popular ones, the ones that were, everybody knew about. There was others, but those were the ones that carried the crowd, the swing.
So at 25, you had already been DJing from the age of 12. So you'd already been DJing over, 13 years.
Yeah, not every night like this. Now is a different, I'm really going professional now. Properly professional, as a resident DJ. So slowly it started to build. And I was the place started to fill up. within a few weeks of playing there, people would come in and love what they heard, and the club started to build. Then I decided, well, now that I'm getting an audience, I'm going to introduce them to really what I want to do. So then I started blending in the soul. And this is the first time that soul music and R&B was introduced to the Mosside audience. So all the mixed race kids started coming to the Reno because they love the music. And to begin with, it became a cosmopolitan place because all the people from town heard about this music. So you was getting people coming up from town, and all the local lads and girls started coming to the arena, and they weren't going to now because now it was just reggae. And they loved this music, the soul music was fresh.
Tell me some of the first records you played, or artists that you played down there.
Wilson Pickett, Midnight Out, Otis Redding, people like that, Four Tops, The Drifter, all the R.M. Melvin and the Blue Nose. But I also played a bit of jazz, because I wanted to just play good music. And it wasn't just about dance music, it's about anything that was good. I played Danny Hathaway, and expand the music into soul, R&B, and jazz orientated music, but easy listening music that you could, because a nightclub is not a discotheque, and it was open 7 nights a week, and it's not everybody can dance or love to go on the dance floor, so I try to entertain the people sitting down or standing up who don't want to dance, but and I wanted music to inspire. So I was playing more to the mind than to the feet at all times. Come Friday and Saturday, more dance orientated music, but a lot of it was music for the mind. Over the years, there's records that I broke in the Reno, and when people hear those records, even DJs play those records or listen to them, they think of me, And the main one was there's a Michael Jackson record that I broke that is still a favorite of mine. But when people talk about Michael Jackson, that record is very rarely. You have to be a musical connoisseur to know about. Was You've Got a Good Thing Going, Michael Jackson. Phaso, Riding High. There's loads of records that I personally responsible for breaking on the scene. Because to me, I was more an innovator than a DJ. I wanted to expand and open people's mind to, beautiful music. I remember playing, because I had a contact in the States. And how this used to work. There was a Jamaican friend of mine who was a merchant seaman that used to travel from Manchester docks to Philadelphia. Yeah, the ship he was on used to go to from here to South America and back to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. And I used to give him money every time he was going away. And when he come back, he used to bring me records. He brought me, so James Brown, I had James Brown very early, and Al Green. So, so I was breaking records long before anyone else knew about them. I remember there's Love and Happiness, and Full of Fire, Al Green. All those records, I was playing them at least 9 months before anybody else got hold of them on import. So I was getting these records. He was coming once a month back from Philadelphia and bringing me records. So I was really upfront